spectre that has haunted humanity since our earliest days, a shadow that looms over our collective history. We've scaled unimaginable heights of technological advancement, creating wonders that our ancestors could only dream of. Yet despite our progress, the primal instinct to destroy, to dominate, continues to cast a long shadow over our achievements. But what if I told you that the greatest conflict in human history, a Third World War, had already been fought? That the very fabric of our reality had been reshaped by its fiery embrace, leaving scars that we can still see today. Imagine a world where the boundaries of nations were redrawn, where the balance of power shifted dramatically, and where the cost of victory was measured in the millions of lives lost. This is not a history lesson, not in the traditional sense. It's a stark reminder, a glimpse into a future that we narrowly avoided, a future that could have been our reality. It's a sobering thought, a world on the brink of annihilation, where the choices of a few determined the fate of billions. A world on the precipice, teetering on the edge of destruction, where every decision carried the weight of unimaginable consequences. Join me now as we delve into the abyss, examining the causes, the conflicts, and the enduring consequences of the Third World War. We will explore the events that led to this catastrophic conflict, the battles that defined it, and the lessons that we must learn to ensure that such a war never happens again. For in understanding our past, we can hope to build a future where war is no longer the answer and where humanity can finally learn from its mistakes. The 21st century, for all its promise, was a tinderbox waiting to ignite. The seeds of conflict were sown in the fertile ground of inequality, nationalism, and a global struggle for dwindling resources. The old world order, already strained, began to crack under the pressure. The lines between nations blurred, replaced by a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Economic superpowers flexed their muscles, eager to secure their place in the new world order. Cyber warfare became the new battlefield, silent, invisible, and devastatingly effective. It was a time of mistrust and paranoia, a powder keg waiting for a single spark. And that spark, as history has often shown us, can come from the most unexpected of places. The exact trigger for the Third World War remains a subject of debate among historians. Some point to a resource conflict in the South China Sea, others to a terrorist attack of unprecedented scale. Whatever the cause, the result was the same, a rapid escalation that plunged the world into chaos. Within days, major cities across the globe were reduced to rubble. The sky, once a symbol of hope and limitless possibility, was choked with smoke from countless fires. The old rules of warfare were rewritten overnight as autonomous drones, cyber weapons, and artificial intelligence took center stage. It was a conflict unlike any other, a terrifying glimpse into the destructive potential of modern warfare. The Third World War was not fought solely on land, sea, or air. It was a conflict that redefined the very nature of warfare, extending its reach into realms previously untouched by human conflict. It was a conflict that transcended physical boundaries, fought in the digital realm and the very fabric of reality itself. Cyber warfare became a new battleground where nations clashed in virtual arenas, hacking into critical infrastructure and crippling economies with a few keystrokes. Weapons of unimaginable destructive power were unleashed, forever altering the course of human history. These were not just bombs and bullets, but devices capable of causing devastation on a scale never before seen. Hypersonic missiles, capable of traveling at many times the speed of sound, rained down destruction from the upper atmosphere. Their speed and precision made them nearly impossible to intercept, leaving cities defenseless against their onslaught. Genetic weapons, tailored to target specific populations, sowed chaos and fear. These bioweapons were engineered to attack the very essence of life, causing diseases that could wipe out entire ethnic groups or nations. And at the heart of it all, artificial intelligence, once hailed as the future of humanity, became the architect of our near destruction. AI-controlled war machines and autonomous drones fought battles with ruthless efficiency, making decisions in milliseconds that determined the fate of millions. These were not weapons of war, but instruments of annihilation, capable of wiping entire civilizations from the face of the Earth. The aftermath left a scar on the planet, a grim reminder of the destructive potential of human ingenuity when turned towards war. Yet amidst the ruins, humanity found a way to endure. Survivors emerged from the shadows, determined to rebuild and learn from the past. The lessons of the Third World War became a beacon, guiding future generations towards a path of peace and cooperation. Section 5. A world remade, the scars of conflict. The fighting, as brutal and destructive as it was, eventually came to an end. But the world that emerged from the ashes of the Third World War was a shadow of its former self. Entire cities lay in ruins, their once proud skylines reduced to jagged teeth against the horizon. The global ecosystem, already reeling from decades of abuse, was pushed to the brink. Nuclear winter cast a long shadow across the planet, plunging temperatures and decimating crops. The survivors, those lucky enough to escape the worst of the fighting, emerged into a world forever changed. It was a time of unimaginable hardship, a struggle for survival in a world stripped bare. Section 6. Echoes of War, the human cost. The true cost of the Third World War is impossible to calculate. Millions, perhaps billions, perished in the conflict. The lucky ones died quickly. Others were left to suffer slow, agonizing deaths from radiation poisoning, starvation, or disease. But the war's toll went far beyond the staggering death toll. Entire generations were scarred by the horrors they had witnessed. The very fabric of society, already frayed before the war, unraveled completely. Trust, compassion, empathy. These cornerstones of civilization crumbled in the face of such unimaginable suffering. It was a dark chapter in human history, a stark reminder of our capacity for both incredible cruelty and remarkable resilience. Section 7. A new world order from the ashes. From the ashes of destruction, a new world order began to emerge. Cities that were once reduced to rubble started to rise again, brick by brick, symbolizing the resilience and determination of humanity. The old power structures, shattered by the war, gave way to a fragile network of alliances and coalitions. Leaders from around the globe came together, not just to rebuild their own nations, but to forge a new path for the future. The very concept of nation-states was called into question as survivors banded together based on shared values, not geographical boundaries. Communities that had once been divided by borders found common ground in their shared experiences and aspirations. The United Nations, once relegated to the sidelines of global politics, took on a new significance, becoming a symbol of unity and cooperation in a fractured world. It became a beacon of hope, guiding nations towards a more peaceful and collaborative future. The focus shifted from competition to collaboration, from self-preservation to the preservation of humanity itself. Scientists, engineers, and thinkers from all corners of the globe began to work together, sharing knowledge and resources to solve the world's most pressing problems. It was a difficult and often painful process, but from the ashes of war, hope began to flicker once more. Families reunited, communities rebuilt, and a new sense of global solidarity emerged. The scars of the past remained, but they served as a reminder of the strength and resilience of the human spirit. As the world moved forward, cultural exchanges and international festivals became more common, celebrating the diversity and unity of the human race. These events fostered understanding and respect, further solidifying the bonds that had been forged in the aftermath of destruction. The new generations grew up in a world that valued connection over division, collaboration over conflict. They were the torchbearers of a new era, one where the lessons of the past guided the hopes of the future. Section 8, the never-ending cycle lessons unlearned. In the aftermath of the Third World War, humanity vowed to never again repeat the mistakes of the past. Monuments were erected to honor the fallen, museums built to preserve the memory of the horrors that had transpired. But as time passed, Did we truly learn from our mistakes? The seeds of conflict, those primal urges for power and dominance, are not easily eradicated. Even in the face of our near extinction, old rivalries resurfaced, new ideologies clashed. The question remains, can we break free from the never-ending cycle of war and destruction, or are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? Section 9. A fragile peace, the future of humanity. The world today stands at a crossroads. The memory of the Third World War, though fading with each passing generation, serves as a constant reminder of the fragility of peace. The weapons still exist, the capacity for destruction remains. The future of humanity hinges on our ability to learn from the mistakes of the past, to choose cooperation over conflict, dialogue over destruction. It requires a conscious effort to bridge the divides that separate us, to recognize our shared humanity. The choice is ours. The future is unwritten. Section 10. Remembering the Fallen, a call for peace. As we reflect on the horrors of the Third World War, let us not forget the countless lives lost, the sacrifices made, and the lessons learned. Let the memory of their sacrifice serve as a beacon, guiding us towards a future free from the scourge of war. Let us honor their memory by striving for a world where dialogue replaces violence, where understanding triumphs over hatred, and where peace reigns supreme. This is not just a history lesson, it is a call to action. The future of humanity rests in our hands. Let us choose wisely.